background is.
Oh, I'm trying to flip it.
Hey.
I'm so happy. Thank you so much for picking me. My friend and I, we love you guys. We cried watching your wedding.
Me too.
Can I just, especially because for me it was so great to see somebody like you on there, because I felt like you were like, I don't know, it was great to see a guy who was very in touch with his emotions and just like emotionally mature. And it was just refreshing because I didn't know men like you existed, really.
Thank you. No, thank you so much for saying that.
I was just wondering, like, your opinion is on, you know, what your thoughts are on like why guys seem to be kind of, not every man, because I do know some good men, but it seems like a lot of guys these days are just kind of like lazy. Like when it comes to dating, they don't put in a lot of effort. So I don't know if that has to do with online dating, or what your thoughts are on that.
Yeah, I've heard that sentiment before, that people aren't putting in the effort. I think like in life, like anything, you know, you get out of it a lot, often what you put into it, whether it's a job or a relationship or what have you. And I do think that people care about seeing that you put in the effort. It's not even like it doesn't seem to usually be about like it being fancy or elaborate so much as you made an effort to make it special in some way, or you made an effort to show that you are actually invested in that person. So, you know, it's hard for me to speak on why people are the way that they are. But I do think that people shouldn't settle for someone who's not going to show them that type of investment of themselves, and be willing to be vulnerable in a certain respect, to say, hey, I'm interested in you, I like you, and I want to pursue this, versus kind of hedging their bets and saying, you know, like not committing to saying that they're in or not.
Yeah. And I have one more question, just real quick. Sure. I host several podcasts, and I'm actually starting a new one called the Good Men Podcast, where I interview some really awesome dudes to kind of basically find out, you know, how they became the way they are, and just kind of hopefully inspire men and women. So, you know, would you be willing to maybe be a guest in the future?
I don't know. Maybe send me a message about it and we can talk about it. But I think that's a great idea. And, you know, men, I mean, they're good guys. You know, I don't want to say good men and bad men. I think, you know, we can all be, it's more complicated than that. But yeah, there are obviously people who are more role models than others, I guess. So I think it's a great idea for a cast, and yeah, sounds good. Send me a message. Happy to talk about it.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Awesome. And I will say, the lady I just talked to, you know, she was asking, you know, how do men become the way that they are? For me, I have to give all the credit to my parents. You know, they were amazing role models for me, and, you know, my heroes really, and they still are to this day. And, you know, I saw the dynamic that they had growing up and how they worked together. That was the, I think that's the biggest thing for me. Try not to get too emotional over here. So, yeah. Now you got me all worked up. No one even asked me that question. I'm just getting worked up over here. All right. Pull it. You got it, dude. Pull it together. Okay. Anyways, let's see.